Okay, so about this box office conversation that I think we should still have, and probably never not going to have at this point, it is interesting to see where the box office is right now. I would say the box office is in a very healthy state. And a lot of people would argue, no, it's not, it's failing, it's going downhill, it's not like 2019. And, the special people on the internet who don't understand what a healthy box office actually looks like. And I think I need to address this topic that I didn't address in my last video about the box office is we are no longer in that guaranteed $1 billion movie era where every big movie or is projected to be a big movie is going to cross the threshold. I think it was a nice phenomenon for a couple of years. Let's be honest, it was a nice phenomenon. Like at least once since 20 from 2012 to like 2019, there was at least one big $1 billion film that year. Some years we had 3 to 4, which is insane. But most of the time that's not the case. Y'all do understand like even if it doesn't make $1 billion, it can still be successful and it can still be profitable. Oppenheimer was not a $1 billion film, but it made a lot of money back and it didn't cross the threshold of $1 billion. But it still did well at the box office though, right? And so I want to just break that down. So like the Mandalorian and Grogu seems to be the big topic, right? As far as like Star Wars is dying, it's failing. It's at 246 million, which means it only yes, it went from 165 to 246 in a week. Is that low for Star Wars again? Yes, but still optimistic because next weekend it could easily cross 300. Not saying it definitely will, but it could. And the only thing that would stop it next week is Masters of the Universe and Scary Movie 6, which probably will. But again, I think that's just a sign of a healthy box office because let's be honest, the big player for this weekend was Backrooms. It made 115, maybe like 118 million on a worldwide gross. So it's already profiting after its first weekend. Okay? Like it's profiting after its first weekend. And we need to also consider the fact that this is another indie horror film from YouTube by a 20-year-old director, who I'm very proud of, by the way. Congratulations, who opened up with a bizarre horror film that people seem to like or hate, but most people seem to like Obsession more. I can't wait to see it. I'm probably going to see it this Tuesday, so expect my review to be up by this week of the film because I tend to try to review the film after seeing it. And yeah, I'm just happy that it opened so big. This is the biggest A24 opening, also 118 million opening weekend, 81 million here. So I would say that the box office looks pretty darn good, all things considered. Obsession made another 40 million this weekend. That's at 143 million, 143, 145 million on that 750,000 budget, which is might actually be a million, but even still, that is horrendously profitable. And I think it might end its run at around 200 million. Who knows? It could still have a really big jump going forward, but it is taking storm overseas now. I think word of mouth here made it get big overseas, and who knows? Obsession could make 300 million and probably be end up being one of the most profitable films ever put to screen, which is very good for a 26-year-old director who also started on YouTube. And Focus. I mean, man, you guys did a good job. I know A24 wanted the film, but I don't remember exactly what happened. I think Neon did too, but Focus Films got it, and it's doing great. It made yeah, and then you got Michael still pulling in double digits. It made like 11 million this weekend. I think Michael is now at like it is it is something like eight. It's numbers. It's hard to remember the numbers. 846. Okay, so it's at 846 worldwide, and I think that's good. I think it's great, and it still hasn't released in Japan yet. It doesn't release in Japan until next Friday. So Michael Jackson is probably going to pass Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's probably going to make $1 billion. And if it doesn't, I'm okay with that as long as it does make the money that it is making. The Super Mario Brothers movie is literally like 8 million away from a billion. So I guess the studio's like, let's just keep it in because it's right there. But it's been 2 months, and it's not gonna make as much as the first one, which was like what 1.3 billion in 2023. So it could. I don't think it will. So we'll just have to wait and see because we can't have everything still out. We can't have everything still out. So I guess the biggest heading, is in Devil Wears Prada made 666 million. It's still in theaters. It's still doing pretty well. That's good to see. With some bag players like the Breadwinner and Pressure and Sheep Detectives, Passenger, Mortal Kombat 2, which is doing severely under the first one. I would say that this box office performance is good. I'd say like this is a sign of like the as if we got a bunch of really good movies out, that means the box office, in my opinion, benefits. And for a long time, I'd say we had this thing where like one big movie came out to save the box office for a little bit, and then it would slow down with some other stuff. Then another big movie would drop, and then the box office would be bounded up, but then it would go down again. Whereas now we're seeing the box office as, in my opinion, what it was like in the 2000s, where it was fairly steady across the board, and movie theaters were a thing we wanted to go to, and a bunch of different movie theaters were full. Some movie theaters weren't because the movie was ass or whatever. But for the most part, it wasn't just one big film, okay? Or something like it seems like the box office kind of going back to normal after 7 years of 2012 to 2019 of just one big old box office blockbuster that inflated the box office and this, that, and the third. Like I think this we're kind of going back to normal movie theater times when it was just like, yeah, something did really well, some things didn't, but they still did good enough. I think we're going back to that, which is nice. I also think the audiences are demanding more. That's why Obsession's doing so well, and Backrooms, because they're fresh, different, and have this interesting feeling that make you want to watch the movie. And the Mandalorian and Grogu, it's good to know that, like, as much as I hate to say it like this, but the big name movies don't guarantee steamrolls anymore. They don't guarantee steamrolls anymore, and that's a good thing. I think we should get to the point where like this movie looks interesting and I want to see it, and it doesn't have to have a big name on it, like a bunch of freaking sequels and prequels and remakes and reboots and this, and the third. And some indie actors, indie directors are getting their time to shine in the light, which is a great thought to me. So I would say that the box office this weekend was solid. I wouldn't say it was the best box office weekend, but we're still looking good as far as movies doing well and money wise. And this only gives me a little bit more excitement for movies this summer. And summer hasn't even really started yet. We're just in blockbuster season, which starts in May. Summer starts this month coming up. So sit with that how you guys want to. You've been here with me. I will see you guys on the next one.